My guest is Todd Wilkinson, President and CEO of Entrust Datacard. Welcome, Todd.
Thank you, Richard. Thanks for having me.
So I have to get used to saying Entrust Datacard because there's been a merger acquisition between Datacard and Entrust. When did that happen, and what was the logic behind it?
Sure. We acquired Entrust. Datacard acquired Entrust at the very end of 2013. And what led to the acquisition was really a focus on broadening our solution set to our customers. Datacard as a company has been around since 1969. Began with a primary focus on payments industry, and by the 1990s we had evolved into secure identity. And over the company's life, we have participated in over 450 national level programs in over 100 countries. So we're not new to secure identity. But we saw the need to bring together some of the technologies, both in the physical side of identity as well as digital, and build broader solutions. It's what our customers were asking us for. So through a very strategic process, we actually targeted Entrust, worked on that for the better part of 9 months in 2013, completed that acquisition at the end of 2013, and they've been part of our company for about 16 months now.
Seems pretty significant that you kept the Entrust name as part of it. So, you know, that really tells the industry there's still a strong focus on the digital identity side of things.
Absolutely. Actually, I think both companies had very strong brands relative to their customers.
Right.
Datacard's very well known in the markets that we serve. Entrust, of course, very well known in the markets that we serve. So our intent was to keep the value that had been created by those brands with our customers, but also reflect the fact that we're a changing, evolving company. Therefore, Entrust Datacard. But also, you'll see a lot of our messaging has changed from both companies. The look and feel of it, kind of where we're heading as a company, is evolving and showing a stronger message.
And what has been have there been any immediate consequences with your customers? Has been crossover opportunities presented to you?
There are. I mean, our primary customer sets for Datacard were, and still are, financial and government, with enterprise being the third tier. If you looked at what Entrust's strongest customer set was, it was exactly the same. And most of the customer lists were very, very close. So the product overlap, we're very near in terms of the solutions we're providing. Same customers, but working together now to bring a more integrated solution for that customer set and bring more value.
So exactly what would a product offering be to a big bank, for instance?
Sure. So historically, Datacard has been the vast market leader in terms of secure issuance of financial cards. Mm-hmm. So if you pick any large financial institution almost around the globe, they are issuing financial cards today using our technologies. When you look at what Entrust brings to that same customer set, it's secure authentication, it's SSL certificates for securing the internet. So when you start to think about a bank's need, which today is an omni-channel experience for their customers, so whether you're talking about in-branch, online experience, or mobile, they're looking for a way to securely do business with their customer and provide those tools to their customers in a very seamless way, but also in a very omni-channel focused way. And frankly, the combination of the two companies enable the technologies to be able to do that.
So how are you combining the two markets? How are you going to market and addressing both sides?
Sure. Datacard is a global company. We have a fantastic channel which gives us a real competitive advantage. We have footprint in over 150 countries. So one of the things that Datacard frankly brought to Entrust, which was predominantly a North American player in its space with a little bit of focus outside, specifically in EMEA, in combination with Datacard, we take Entrust into dramatically more market focused around the world. So we're finishing right now the kickoffs. We're just starting a new fiscal year. We're finishing the kickoffs with our partners in America, EMEA, and in Asia. And what we're finding is that our channel partners on both sides understand the need for this convergence of digital and physical identity, and they're very excited about it. So our teams are gravitating toward a combined offering. And again, I think our combined channel is going to be a very powerful thing for both companies.
From my perspective, it really seemed like you timed it perfectly, because immediately after the acquisition, all of a sudden the next big thing was encryption and identity and digital certificates. All have seen a mini boom, thanks in large part to some of the discoveries we've had about the intelligence community and what they've been doing. Right. What are some of the overall trends that you've experienced just in the last 16, 18 months?
Well, I mean, Richard, you're right. I mean, I couldn't have predicted some of the things that happened within within literally a few months of us announcing the acquisition. As you know, there's a few large retailers that were breached, and that actually drove, frankly, that drove a lot of demand for our products, both in the Entrust product line as well as the Datacard product line, because we were talking about payment technologies, which were very, very central to.
You had to reissue all those cards.
But the world is changing, as we all know, and the things, the threats that we're seeing are no longer a teenager in his basement trying to take down our webpage. These are national level threats. These are geopolitically backed issues. So I think the threat escalation today is completely changed from what it was. And yeah, the timing of us bringing together the two companies was especially strong. But I think it forces us to continue to look at the ecosystem broadly, both from who else can we partner with, how do we align. To me, the solutions that we have to be looking for in security are industry-wide, not any one company.
Yep. And what are the major segments, or how do you break down
Sure.
the market opportunities?
We think, when we're trying to develop solutions, we think about the end users of our customers. So we talk about consumers, about citizens, and about enterprises. Now, I don't typically sell to consumers directly.
Right.
I sell to financial institutions, to retailers for their secure payment needs as well as secure auth needs. If you look across all of our applications, whether it be, of course, the legacy public key infrastructure, secure auth, SSL certificates, secure payment issuance, we're looking at putting together those solutions in a way that enables consumers to have the product the way that they want to receive it. Right. And by doing so, we create a really strong value prop for the banks that we provide our solutions to. In the citizen side, big product offerings in passport, national ID programs. And again, we're thinking about how does a citizen securely access citizen services on a government portal. How do we ensure that we are giving the strongest authentication, the strongest physical document to a country as it relates to border crossing? We think about the customer sets in terms of those three, including enterprise. And on the enterprise level, frankly, the big trend today is just the proliferation of devices. Right. Everyone trying to access a network with lots and lots of devices. How does an enterprise hold that together with security, but give seamless attention to their employees who are trying to gain access to the network and do the work they need to do? So it all starts with the end user, and then we think very much about how our customers want to deliver that, and we're trying to provide bundled solutions that help them do that.
What are some of the challenges that the security industry is facing today overall?
Well, it's interesting. This week is RSA out here in California, and I've heard lots of speakers which actually have a very, very similar theme, which is, we all need to think differently about how we deliver security, and the legacy security tools and products are probably not going to be enough for the future. The good news is we as a company are investing very heavily in our company. We've been privately owned since 1987, Richard, and it gives us really a real strategic advantage because we have strong backing from our owners. We have frankly investments that we can make, and we're not looking at quarter-to-quarter returns on investment. We're looking at building long-term wealth generation for our owner, which means that we can invest in technologies. We can do research in the space. We can do some things that really enable us to have breakthrough technologies. We have continued to increase the investment we have organically in research and development each year since I've been the CEO, which is since 2008. If you combine what we've spent in organic R&D and acquisitions, we've spent over $1 billion in our growth path in the last 10 years. So hopefully that describes that we're relatively serious about it. And frankly, I expect that investment number over the next 10 years to be much greater.
Wow. Do you see an opportunity for Entrust Datacard in the Internet of Things as we just get more things that are connected to the Internet?
Our perspective is that everything starts with secure identity. And when we establish secure identity, we can then have a secure transaction at the same time. And secure identity, whether we're talking about a border crossing, accessing a network, making a payment, again, accessing an eGov portal, this is where we start. The company has got great opportunities to provide. We have a phrase that we use commonly, and you'll see it in a lot of our literature, which is trusted identity and secure transactions. Everything starts and ends there with Datacard. That is our focus. That's what our passion is about, and that's where our toolkit is.
There seem to be a plethora of new methods of authentication from, invariably using a cell phone as a device. And Entrust has a long history of being able to issue certificates that are used. Are there new, different ways to access those certificates that are coming about?
Well, two things. Entrust still has very, very strong depth of expertise in certificate management, and secure certificate issuance. We also have a very strong authentication platform, which effectively is one of the most agnostic authentication platforms in the market, and it is a multi-factor authenticator. We believe with the broadest range of authenticators. It is absolutely a platform, gives our customers a lot of choice. And frankly, that product aligns really, really well with the legacy data card business, which has been really focused on giving our customers options for how they want to deliver their products to their customers. And that's a good example of one of the core authentication products that Entrust brings that gives their customers a lot of choice.
You mentioned, one, that you're a private company, and two, that you continuously invest. Does that mean that you could be doing more acquisitions in the future?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. We're a company that when I walk around the trade shows, I'm actually looking as an acquirer, not as a seller. So I'm not trying to polish my company or tell a story so that I can sell it in 2 years. My owner has no intent to sell in any short-term time frame. He's held our company since 1987. So I'm absolutely a buyer, not a seller. We have a relatively disciplined approach. Entrust was one of the larger acquisitions we've done as a company.
Yeah.
But again, as I mentioned earlier, we saw it as a very strategic add to our company. I think there are significant opportunities for us to continue to acquire companies. I think as a company, we've built the skills internally to do world-class integration and show that we can actually assimilate companies together, run them well, and really get the value out of them that our customers expect. And as you do more of that and you show success, it makes you want to do even more. So there's lots of opportunity for us in the space. As you may know, valuations are a bit high right now.
A little bit.
But there's still market space available for us for acquisition.
Yeah. So if you had to give yourself a grade for the acquisition of Entrust, what would you give yourself?
Oh wow, I'm a hard grader, Richard. That's a tough one. I think the acquisition itself has had when we went into the acquisition, we believed, and it has shown to be true, that this has transformational capabilities for both companies. We will transform Entrust into a different type of company in the future, as well as Datacard. It is transformational for our companies. It allows us to focus on broader solutions than either company could individually. It allows us to really focus on that intersection of payment and information security. And it really, you mentioned timing earlier in our interview. I mean, there's really been no better time to be focused on trusted identity and secure transactions in our space. So I give me a good grade. I'm a tough grader, but I think so far we've given ourselves a pretty good grade.
Well, great. Congratulations.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you.